The minister first became mayor of Vancouver in 2008. He promised affordable housing, fewer drug overdoses, lower crime, and to end homelessness by 2015. How'd that work out?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and to the member opposite. Well, when I first became mayor, it was a Conservative federal government, and for 7 years, it was all but impossible to get any investment from the federal government on homelessness, affordable housing, and we fought the federal government at the time.
The Honourable Member.
For the last 10 years, the Liberal government has been in power. Overdose is the leading cause of death for youth aged 10 to 18 in our province. So, Minister's thoughts on that?
Mr. Chair, when the minister was mayor, he promised to end homelessness by 2018. Instead, it increased by 40%. Why should Canadians believe anything he says?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. I'm proud of the work that the city did to house thousands of people who were homeless in Vancouver and building social and supportive housing.
How many rental units does this Minister of Housing own?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm here to answer questions on behalf of my department for the investment in affordable housing across Canada and infrastructure and housing. I'm sure the member already has the answer to the question being asked, or he wouldn't be asking it.
That's right.
The Honourable Member.
Through the chair, I know I'm just a rookie here, a simple guy from Hamilton that made it to Parliament, but I was told that we ask the questions and he answers them. Just want to know if he knows the answer. So again, does he know what the average cost of a home in Hamilton is?
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Chair, I would say that whether it's Hamilton or Vancouver, we need to bring the overall cost of housing down and do that by building affordable housing.
Oh, yeah. Hey gang, what's up? Aaron right here, Canadian Looney. What a wild week in the House of Commons. We've got Gregor Robertson, the housing minister, former mayor of Vancouver, facing off against a gauntlet of angry Tories, it would seem. Notably, Scot, Aitchison, and then there's a bunch of others. I wouldn't want to mess with Todd, Doherty. Anyhow, Gregor Robertson here is taking them on. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let's get into it. This one's wild for sure. It's a long one, but it's worth watching. Let's take a peek. Here we go. Gregor Robertson, housing minister, battling the Conservatives. Let's take a look. Here we go. Oh, yeah.
Honourable Member for Parry Sound, Muskoka.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I'd like to inform the Chair that I will be splitting my time 3 ways. Mr. Chair, does the Minister believe that Canada is in a housing crisis?
The Honourable Minister for Housing and Infrastructure.
Mr. Chair, honoured to be here today, and thanks to the member opposite. Canada is definitely in a housing crisis and has been building over decades.
The Honourable Member.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Would the Minister agree that Canada's housing crisis is about supply and therefore also about affordability of homes? That it's affordability?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. Canada's housing crisis is definitely related to a lack of supply over many decades, and also the lack of the Government of Canada directly being involved in building affordable supply.
The Honourable Member.
Mr. Chair, on May 14th, the Minister said that he did not think that prices of homes should come down. Then on June 9th, the Minister said in this House that he believes the cost of homes need to come down. I'd like to ask the Minister which of those statements is correct. Which one do you believe?
Honourable Minister.
Mr. Chair, the overall price of housing needs to come down across Canada. We need to have more affordable housing in this country. We're not talking about intervening in the market to change individuals' home prices. The market sets those prices. Government of Canada should be building more affordable housing to bring the overall cost down.
The Honourable Member.
To the Chair, does the Minister know what percentage of the cost of a new home in the GTA, for example, what percentage of the cost of that new home is government charges and fees?
Mr. Chair, the cost of homes in terms of housing infrastructure, the infrastructure that's required to build homes on, it varies around the GTA. It varies with the building typology. It varies with the
Member.
Mr. Chair, I'll help the Minister. The average is about 25%. So it's 25% of the cost of every new home in the GTA. The average is 25% government charges and fees. I'll make a similar question closer to home. Does the minister know the average cost of government on a new home in Vancouver?
Well, Minister.
Again, thank you, Chair. The cost of development cost charges in Vancouver obviously vary depending on the metro region and the municipality that's applying those, but typically they're cost recovery for the infrastructure required to build the homes.
Honourable Member.
Through the Chair, the cost of government charges and fees in Vancouver is about 20% as well. Would the minister agree, though, that if the cost of homes have to come down, the cost of government needs to come down on those homes?
The Honourable Minister.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. Well, first and foremost, governments need to invest in the housing infrastructure, and local governments typically make that investment and recover the cost through development charges. This government is looking at helping those local.
Mr. Chair, I recognize that municipalities need to invest in infrastructure. I was a mayor myself at one point and did the exact same thing. My question was, does the cost of government need to come down on the cost of a new home?
Yeah.
Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The cost of government, I'm not sure the phrase what that indicates, but development cost charges need to be covered for the housing infrastructure, and how that's split between governments.
The Honourable Member.
Mr. Chair, when the minister was mayor of Vancouver, over his tenure, the city increased development charges 141% over that time period. Does the minister agree that that made housing more expensive in Vancouver?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, the price of housing is set by the market. What we need to focus on as a government in Canada is the affordability and making sure there's a supply of affordable homes.
Honourable Member.
Does the minister recognize that the cost of development charges a city charges to a developer is passed on to the purchaser and therefore becomes part of the purchase price?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. The cost of the housing infrastructure can affect, depending on the market across Canada. The market in some markets like Toronto and Vancouver is much higher than the percentage driven.
The Honourable Member.
Does the minister realize that while he was mayor, house prices in Vancouver went up a whopping 149%, and that part of the reason for that was the cost of government charges and fees?
Minister.
Thank you, Chair. We've seen the cost of housing, the prices of housing escalate across the country in many cities around the world. This is a global challenge, but one we have to...
Oh, yeah. Resuming debate, the Honourable Member for King Vaughan.
Mr. Chair, since becoming Minister of Housing, has the minister ever visited a homeless shelter?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. Well, I spent 10 years as Mayor of Vancouver and a lot of time in homeless shelters and opening homeless shelters.
The Honourable Member.
Mr. Chair, when the minister was mayor, he promised to end homelessness by 2018. Instead, it increased by 40%. Why should Canadians believe anything he says?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. I'm proud of the work that the city did to house thousands of people who were homeless in Vancouver and building social and supportive housing.
The Honourable Member.
Mr. Chair, can the minister tell us what age group has the highest rate of chronic homelessness?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Homelessness is a huge challenge across the country, and that's why it's a top priority for us to tackle with affordable housing.
Member.
Let me help the minister. It's seniors. What rate of seniors experience chronic homelessness?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, I think it's important that nobody of any age is forced to be homeless, and the investment needs to be made.
Mr. Speaker, according to a report by the minister's own department, 40% of seniors experience homelessness. Does he really think that's acceptable?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. As I've said, homelessness is something that we need to all tackle together. We need to work together at all levels of government to solve this.
The Honourable Member.
So, Mr. Chair, through you, 2 of my seniors in my community of Vaughan were forced to live in their car throughout the winter. If the minister doesn't know the answer to my questions, what will you tell them?
Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. I will tell them we're about to make the biggest investment in tackling homelessness that Canada has ever seen, and we hope to have their support.
Honourable Member.
As of, do you know what the current population of seniors in Canada is?
Through the chair, the Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. I don't have the number at my fingertips, but we have to make sure seniors are not at risk of homelessness.
The Honourable Member.
As of July 1st, 2023, it's 18.9% of the population, or 7.6 million people, are seniors. By 2030, that number will raise to 22.5%. What's the plan to make sure that there is affordable housing for seniors?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. The plan is to build more affordable housing across Canada than ever before in Canadian history.
The Honourable Member.
Mr. Chair, if he cared about seniors, he'd know the critical information. Why has he done nothing to bring the prices of homes down for seniors?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. We are very focused on rolling out this plan. We've already delivered a GST cut for first-time home buyers, and we'll continue that work.
Honourable Member.
Mr. Chair, according to TD, this government housing target of 500,000 new starts per year is unrealistic. The minister is already known for breaking promises. Does he agree with TD?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. We have a big endeavour ahead of us to get to 500,000 housing starts a year, but we are committed to getting there, working with industry and all the PT, provincial and territorial.
The Honourable Member.
Vancouver became the least affordable housing market in North America during this disastrous tenure as mayor. Why should Canadians trust him to be in charge of the housing industry nationally?
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Chair, for the first 7 years of my mayorship, it was a Conservative government that did not invest in affordable housing in Canada and made it very difficult for mayors.
The Honourable Member.
Through you, Mr. Chair, let's not pass the buck. Let's take responsibility and action. As Mayor of Vancouver, he raised taxes 141%, home prices shot up 149%, and overdoses went up 600%. Given this information, how can Canadians trust him to be in charge of anything that he does in housing?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. Well, I have the honour of being elected to come here representing the hard work that happens in cities to deliver on the federal government's behalf, which is not what Conservative governments in my time were delivering.
That's right.
The Honourable Member.
Mr. Chair, I come from the private sector, and in the private sector, if we don't do our job, we get released. How does he continue to do a job that he was not successful with in Vancouver? How is he going to improve it nationally?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. Well, we are very focused on rolling out the most ambitious housing plan in Canadian history. Build Canada Homes will deliver a doubling of construction.
Oh, yeah. Resuming debate, the Honourable Member for Nanaimo Ladysmith.
After 10 years of Liberal governments, their housing record boils down to double trouble. Doubled rents, doubled down payments, and doubled mortgage costs. So who does the Prime Minister appoint as housing minister? The former mayor of Vancouver, who doubled housing prices and broke promises to end homelessness. So I have a few questions for the minister. Does the minister know the average price of a single detached home in Nanaimo?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. The prices of homes has escalated across Canada, and that's why we need to build more affordable supply.
The Honourable Member.
Let me help the minister. It was $859,292 to buy a home in Nanaimo as of May 2025, up from $362,000 in 2015. Does the minister know the current median household income in Nanaimo?
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Chair, while I'm curious if the members opposite blame the Mayor of Nanaimo for that housing price increase, or perhaps the Premier of BC, we all need to take responsibility to build affordable housing in this House.
Scot.
The Honourable Member.
So let me help the minister with that again. It was the median income was $87,987, is that now. It's up from $62,349 in 2015. So, Mr. Chair, while incomes are up just 41% in the last decade, home prices in Nanaimo have more than doubled. Can the minister explain how that's affordable?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. Well, there's two parts to this. One is to build the strongest economy in the G7 and raise incomes. The other is to focus on building affordable housing.
The Honourable Member.
Does the minister think that a couple making $90,000 and paying rent can realistically save up for a down payment for a home in Nanaimo? Yes or no?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. It's very difficult right now for people to afford to buy homes in Canada, and that's why we have to focus on affordable supply.
The Honourable Member.
Let me help the minister again, Mr. Speaker. It would take that couple 35 years, Mr. Chair, to save 20% down payment, or 17 years for a 10% down payment, which would add an extra $700 a month to their mortgage. Does the minister think that's a good outcome? Yes or no?
Tamara,
The Honourable Minister.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. The focus here needs to be on increasing supply across Canada, building affordable homes people of all walks of life can afford, less than 30% of their income. That's our goal.
The Honourable Member.
Talking about affordable homes, Mr. Chair, when the minister was the mayor of Vancouver, homelessness went up by 38%. Is that the same model he's bringing to the rest of Canada?
That's right.
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Our focus with Build Canada Homes will be on tackling homelessness and investing in the most affordable housing we can for people who are homeless.
The Honourable Member.
Housing starts in Vancouver fell 25% while the minister was in office as mayor. Why should Canadians trust you now?
Through the Chair, the Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. We are the government of Canada. We need to send the signal and deliver on the action to build more homes across Canada that are affordable.
Honourable Member.
Well, if we're talking about signals, a typical home in Nanaimo now costs nearly 10 times the median income. Does that strike the minister as sustainable housing policy? Yes or no?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. Sustainable housing policy is focusing on delivering affordable housing across Canada, which I hope the members opposite will support.
The Honourable Member.
Vancouver's price-to-income ratio doubled from 6-to-1 to 13-to-1 when the minister was the mayor of Vancouver. Does he think that's going to earn him the respect of Canada's mayors with that record?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. Well, on my side of the House, we are focused on partnering with mayors at all levels of government as partners delivering affordable housing, not insulting them.
The Honourable Member.
Give me a break.
It's the minister's record as mayor that is an insult to this country, Mr. Chair. There you have it. This is the guy who the Liberals have chosen to solve the housing crisis. He didn't know the facts, he didn't answer my questions, and he certainly doesn't understand the hardship of either a 23-year-old with 6 roommates or a senior living in their car.
Right.
What does the minister have to say?
Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, I will remind the members opposite that they have not supported a single affordable housing initiative over the past decade, and that was at a time when the federal government needed to deliver more and more, working in partnership with provinces, territories, and communities.
The Honourable Member.
If excuses were bricks, Mr. Chair, the minister would build a whole community overnight. When is this government going to stop talking and start building?
The Honourable Minister.
Thanks, Mr. Speaker. This government is currently delivering hundreds of thousands of affordable homes across Canada, and we will scale that up. We will double that.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Resuming debate, the Honourable Member for New Tecumseh, Gwillimbury.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chair, and I'll be splitting
we
my
go.
time 3 ways. Through you, Mr. Chair, why is it so hard for Canadians to afford a home?
Minister.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. Housing prices are historically high in Canada, and incomes need to be increased with a stronger economy.
Member.
Which party has been in government for the past decade?
The Honourable Minister.
The member is asking questions he already knows the answer to, but it has been Liberal governments for 3 terms.
The Honourable Member.
Price of a home in Ontario.
The Honourable Minister.
Well, again, the members opposite are asking questions that they've prepared and I know the answers to.
The Honourable Member.
Average household income in Ontario.
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I believe the member has the answer to that question, so he can answer that for himself.
The Honourable Member.
This is what frustrates Canadians. We ask a question, we expect an answer, and I know the minister can answer the question. So we're gonna try again. We're gonna try again. There's 2 clocks in here, Mr. Chair. What time is it, Minister?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It's time to build.
The Honourable Member.
It certainly is. It certainly is. We do need action, Mr. Chair, through you. And does the minister understand that home prices have skyrocketed far beyond which most Canadians can afford?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Home prices have skyrocketed, and that's why we need to be building affordable housing across Canada.
The honourable member.
Through you, Mr. Chair, the minister said to all Canadians that house prices don't need to go down. Why does preserving high real estate values matter more to him than ensuring people can afford a home?
The honourable member. Minister.
Mr. Chair, what matters to me is building more affordable housing, and members on this side of the House will put all efforts into that.
Honourable member.
Through you, Mr. Chair, what percentage of homes in Canada are owned by investors?
The honourable minister.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. Homes need to be for living in, for residents and not for investors.
Honourable member.
This.
The number is 30%, up 50% since 2015, since this Liberal government's been in power. How many investment properties does the minister own?
The honourable minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Investment is secondary to people living in homes. We need to build homes that people live in, not invest in.
The honourable member.
For you, Mr. Chair, he's looking for the number. How many investment properties does this Minister of Housing own?
The honourable minister.
Mr. Chair, I think the focus here needs to be on building homes for people to live in, not building homes for investors to own.
This is embarrassing,
Honourable member.
right?
How many rental units does this Minister of Housing own?
The honourable minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm here to answer questions on behalf of my department for the investment in affordable housing across Canada and infrastructure and housing.
The honourable member.
For you, Mr. Chair, these are important questions that Canadians need answer to.
That's right.
Will the creation of Build Canada Homes just lead to more red tape and government bureaucracy?
The honourable minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Build Canada Homes is going to focus on building affordable housing across Canada at a scale that is unprecedented.
Mr. Chair, since we've seen no budget from this Liberal government, how much money is being allocated to the Build Canada Homes?
The honourable minister.
Mr. Chair, at this stage, we're designing the future for Build Canada Homes. It's not an entity that exists yet, but I hope the members opposite will support the investment to scale affordable housing.
The honourable member.
Could the minister point where I'd find that out in the estimates, please?
The honourable minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Build Canada Homes is not specifically in the infrastructure and housing estimates at this stage.
Honourable member.
How many new public servants will be hired for this agency?
Honourable minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. At this point, we're dealing with the estimates for the current programs that the Housing and Infrastructure Department are putting out.
Honourable member.
This minister spoke tonight so much about housing and answered no questions. Hopefully this is an answer that he can give Canadians. What exact date will the average Canadian who is priced out of a home right now be able to afford one? Just, Minister, please.
Honourable minister.
Mr. Chair, well, we've delivered a $50,000 savings to first-time homebuyers already with votes in this House, and we will continue to deliver affordability measures.
Oh, yeah. Debate
Davidson's awesome.
the member for Haldimand Norfolk.
Through you, Mr. Chair. In the main estimates, the government has allocated $9 billion for infrastructure. How much of this is allocated for new roads?
Honourable minister.
Thanks, Mr. Chair, and welcome to the member. So infrastructure investments in the department are typically through provinces and territories, and their priorities are part of where that spending goes. Some of that is into roads. It's into all sorts of different infrastructure, water, wastewater, transportation infrastructure.
The honourable member.
You, Mr. Chair, can the minister tell Canadians how many new roads need to be built in order to accommodate the 500,000 new homes in their plan?
The honourable minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, certainly transportation infrastructure is a part of the housing infrastructure investment that happens through this department, working in partnership with provinces, territories, and local governments who lay out the planning in the community scale.
Member.
You, Mr. Chair, the Liberal government plans to build 500,000 new homes. To meet that plan, the government would have to build 1,370 homes every single day. did the government build 1,370 homes today?
The Honourable Minister.
To the member, with reference to roads and highways that have received funding over the past decade, over 58,000 kilometres of roads and highways have received funding from the department.
The Honourable Member.
Through you, Mr. Chair, did the government meet their goal of building 1,370 homes today? Yes or no?
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Chair, there have been many more homes than that built across Canada, in part with funding from the department.
The Honourable Member.
Mr. Chair, has the government met its goal of building any of the 1,370 homes in any day that this minister has been in charge of housing? Yes or no?
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Chair, the department has funded through the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation hundreds of thousands of homes in these recent years. The scale is significant and it needs to double from here.
He looks like
the Honourable Member.
Jackass.
Through you, Mr. Chair, the Liberals, how many homes have the Liberals built in the last 29 days since this minister has been in charge of housing?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, this department funds provinces, territories, local governments to help them in the process of building. The government is not directly building, but we should be in the business of that going forward to make sure affordable housing is getting built.
The Honourable Member.
Through you, Mr. Chair, to be on target, the government would have to fund the building of 39,730 homes within the last 29 days. Have they met their target? Yes or no?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, the target around doubling housing construction in Canada is for the years to come. We need to scale up from the current level. The goal is to double construction across Canada, and we'll use every tool we have available to us to do that.
This guy's shameless.
The Honourable Member.
Through you, Mr. Chair, do young people deserve the right to own a conventional home like their parents did? Yes or no?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. We want to see all Canadians have access to safe and secure housing, and certainly the younger generation need more opportunities to afford homes. So that's why we're doing this doubling of construction across the country.
The Honourable Member.
Through you, Mr. Chair, did the Liberal government allocate more than $26 billion to prefab container homes through the new Crown Corporation? Yes or no?
Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. That is not part of the current estimates, the budget estimates that we are discussing here today. That is a commitment going forward that this government will tackle and hopes to have support from the members opposite.
The Honourable Member has less than 20 seconds left.
Through you, Mr. Chair, does the Build Canada Homes include the government developing and owning homes for Canadians? Yes or no?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As said, we need to use every tool we can that's available to us. Certainly federal land is an opportunity, working with partners.
Oh, yeah.
The member for Mission, Matsqui, Abbotsford.
Through you, Mr. Chair, does the Government of Canada condemn BC Ferry's decision to purchase ferries from a state-owned enterprise in Communist China?
Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. To the member, I'm not clear how this has anything to do with the Housing and Infrastructure Department.
The Honourable Member.
Will the Government of Canada continue its $30 million subsidy of BC Ferries? Through you, Mr. Chair.
The Honourable Minister.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. The BC Ferries investment is not part of this ministry's estimates.
The Honourable Member.
You, Mr. Chair, will the ferries from China be subject to tariffs like Chinese EVs tariffs put in place by this government?
The Honourable Minister.
Again, Mr. Chair, the member should direct those questions to the appropriate minister. It's not related to this department.
Member.
Table 176 of the main estimates outlines $2.4 billion in transfer payments to the Department of Housing, Infrastructure and Communities. What portion will be allotted to British Columbia?
The Honourable Minister.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. I can get the member that detailed answer shortly. I don't have it at my fingertips, but I can do that.
Member.
Table 176, $440 million is allocated to the Disaster Mitigation and Adaptation Fund. How much will British Columbia receive?
Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, the Disaster Mitigation and Adaptation Fund has already provided billions, almost $3 billion in support across Canada to 100.
The Honourable Member.
What portion of the $16 million of the Supporting Climate Resilient Infrastructure Initiative will British Columbia receive?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, the typical coverage across the country is per capita, but there are variations in that depending on the province and certainly the issues with disasters.
Honourable Member.
The Liberal Party's platform promised additional funding for disaster mitigation and recovery. What is the total and how much will BC receive?
Honourable Minister.
Yeah, for this time period, Mr. Chair, 643.8 million is the amount that is put forward for the Disaster Mitigation and Adaptation Fund.
Member.
Does the Minister agree that the federal government has a responsibility in aiding communities that have suffered from a natural disaster and need additional infrastructure funding?
The Honourable Minister.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. Well, certainly this government is committed to supporting communities. That's why this fund exists, to be able to make the infrastructure more resilient and support communities.
The Honourable Member.
Does the Minister agree that Abbotsford plays a critical role in BC's food security?
The Honourable Minister.
To the Chair, I used to farm very close to Abbotsford, so I'm keenly aware of the challenges in the Fraser Valley and the disasters that have affected the region.
The Honourable Member.
Does the Minister acknowledge that CN Rail, the CP Rail, an international airport, Southern Rail, a border crossing, and Highway 1 are all present in Abbotsford and are critical to Canada's natural interests and the operation of our supply chains?
Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, I appreciate the member pointing out the critical importance of the infrastructure that is in the Fraser Valley on the south coast of BC and how important it is to the rest of Canada.
The Honourable Member.
Is the Minister aware that Abbotsford was impacted by floods in 2021, one of the most costly disasters in the history of Canada? Is the Minister aware that in the fall economic statement of the previous Parliament, over $5 billion was allocated to disaster recovery efforts in the province of British Columbia?
Honourable Minister.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. I am aware that there has been funding allocated for the disaster mitigation and adaptation in the Fraser Valley, which has obviously been through some tough disasters in recent years.
Honourable Member.
Does the Minister agree that Abbotsford should be aided by the federal government to rebuild their infrastructure to account for natural disasters and climate change?
Minister.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. I think we can all agree that communities affected across Canada, including Abbotsford and the Fraser Valley, need some.
Honourable Member.
Can the Minister please outline to this House which government program Abbotsford should apply to receive its portion of the main estimates being debated here tonight?
The Honourable Minister has less than 15 seconds.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. Just to outline that the Disaster Mitigation and Adaptation Fund is for prevention of these disasters and more resilient infrastructure to prevent future problems.
Oh, yeah. The Honourable Member for Hamilton East Stony Creek.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Honourable
New blood.
Minister, what is his definition of affordable housing?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. I think the general definition for affordable is that it's less than 30% of people's income.
The Honourable Member.
The Honourable Minister, when he created the Vancouver Affordable Housing Agency, promised 500 units. How many were delivered?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, I'm proud of the work that the Vancouver Affordable Housing Agency did in catalyzing many units, thousands of units across the city. That's why I'm focused here now in the federal government to deliver on behalf of all of Canada.
The Honourable Member.
Whatever.
40 were built. Do you consider that a success?
40
Before
out of
I,
500.
Minister, through the Chair, the Honourable Minister.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. I think the member opposite has the facts all wrong, and he can check the City of Vancouver website for data on the affordable housing delivered.
Honourable member.
Through the chair, does the minister, the honourable minister, know what the average cost of a home in Hamilton is?
Mr.
Google it. Well, again, I'm sure the member already has the answer to the question being asked, or he wouldn't be asking it.
That's right.
The honourable member.
It's getting sassy.
Through the chair, I know I'm just a rookie here, a simple guy from Hamilton that made it to Parliament, but I was told that we ask the questions and he answers them. Just want to know if he knows the answer. So again, does he know what the average cost of a home in Hamilton is?
The honourable minister.
Mr. Chair, I would say that whether it's Hamilton or Vancouver, we need to bring the overall cost of housing down and do that by building affordable housing.
That's right.
Honourable member.
Through the chair, does the honourable minister, well, the answer is $790,000. Does the honourable minister consider that affordable?
The honourable minister.
Mr. Chair, well, that's not affordable to many Canadians, and that's why we need to build more affordable housing and look for the support from the members opposite.
Here, here.
Honourable member.
Through the chair, does the honourable minister know what the average one-bedroom rent is in Hamilton?
The honourable minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think across the country, we need to be able to see rents come down for Canadians, and I'm sure that's the case in Hamilton as it is in many cities across Canada.
The honourable member.
Through the chair, to the honourable minister, it's $1,824. Do you consider that affordable?
The honourable minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I mean, it all depends on people's income, but for most Canadians, that's a challenge, and that's why I hope the member will support us with our new housing plan.
The honourable member.
Through the chair, to the honourable minister, how many homes were built by the Housing Accelerator?
Honourable minister.
Mr. Chair, the Housing Accelerator has agreements with over 200 communities across Canada that will unlock over 800,000 homes in the future.
Whatever.
Member.
The chair, to the honourable minister, how much money was spent?
The honourable minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Housing Accelerator Fund has investing $4.4 billion to eliminate the barriers to development and build homes faster.
That's right.
Honourable member.
That's right.
Through the chair, to the honourable minister, $4.4 billion will be spent with no account of how many homes will be built. Does he find a problem in that?
Honourable minister.
Mr. Chair, on this side of the House, we're very committed to transparency, and we will be tracking and working with the local governments to see how they're progressing on delivering the housing units that they are rezoning for.
The honourable member.
Through the chair, this is a so-called new government running old, failed Liberal programs. How does this help Hamilton?
Honourable minister.
Thank you, Chair. Well, I think I've outlined the scale of investment that is happening through this department. We're talking about $16 billion of hardworking Canadians' money that's being invested in affordable housing and infrastructure, and we hope to have the members' support for that.
Here, here.
The honourable member.
You're here.
Through the chair, to the honourable member, from what I've heard today, nothing will change, just more Liberal lip service and broken promises. The Liberals and this minister will just add to the housing hell in Hamilton.
The honourable minister.
Mr. Chair, I'm clear that the members opposite have not supported any of these affordable housing programs in recent years. I hope, based on these questions, there's going to be a change of approach here, and members opposite will support scaling up these investments in affordable housing.
Oh, yeah. All right, who's up?
Resuming debate,
I like
the
Peter
honourable
quite a bit.
member
He's
for
a great chair.
Caribou Prince George.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll be splitting my time 3 ways.
That sounds like Todd Doherty.
Minister,
Yeah.
when you first became mayor, or through you, Mr. Speaker, when the minister first became mayor of Vancouver in 2008, he promised affordable housing, fewer drug overdoses, lower crime, and to end homelessness by 2015. How'd that work out?
The honourable minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and to the
that work
member
out?
opposite. Well, when I first became mayor, it was a conservative federal government, and for 7 years, it was all but impossible to get any investment from the federal government on homelessness, affordable housing, and we fought the federal government at the time.
The honourable member.
For the last 10 years, the Liberal government has been in power. Overdose is the leading cause of death for youth aged 10 to 18 in our province. So, Minister's thoughts on that.
Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The overdose crisis is a terrible tragedy across Canada, and certainly we felt that from the very beginning of it a decade ago in Vancouver, and when the emergency was declared.
The honourable member.
Let it rip.
Minister, through you, Mr. Speaker, overdose, over 50,000 Canadians have lost their lives to overdose. Our province of British Columbia is one of the worst, experiencing the worst opioid crisis in our country. This minister is now a member of the government. What will be his actions to represent our province at the cabinet table?
Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and to the member opposite. Well, I'm certainly thankful to be elected by my constituents in Vancouver, Fraserview, South Burnaby, here to represent my province as well, and from the knowledge serving at the city and provincial level, will do all I can to deliver positive change and a lot of affordable housing in our home province.
Honourable member.
Sure, still feel the same way about decriminalizing drugs?
The honourable minister.
It's relentless.
To the
Doherty
chair, to the member, I don't know where the drug policy fits within the estimates for housing and infrastructure communities Canada.
Honourable member.
Minister's on record as saying decriminalizing illicit drugs would be a life-saving shift. Does he still feel the same?
The honourable minister.
Mr. Chair, again, we're here to focus on budget estimates for the Department of Housing and Infrastructure.
Here to answer questions.
Does the minister have?
The honourable minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We're here to talk about the actions and the budget of the federal government on affordable housing and infrastructure.
That's right.
Member.
Mr. Speaker, to the minister, it's easy to say, I have none. If he has none, why doesn't he declare it?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, I'm here to answer questions about the budget for the federal government on housing and infrastructure, and I welcome questions on that.
Member.
Through you, Mr. Speaker, to the minister, I'll ask again, how many rental properties does he have?
How many do you have there, Gregor?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Again, we're here to talk about the budget estimates for the Department on Housing and Infrastructure, and I welcome the member's questions about $16 billion of taxpayer money that's focused on housing and infrastructure.
The honourable member.
Is the minister comfortable with his record as the mayor of Vancouver in terms of the cost of housing over the course of his tenure?
The honourable minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, I will say that no single elected official is responsible for the prices in the housing market, and this federal government needs to do everything it can to bring the overall cost of housing down across.
The honourable member.
Through you, Mr. Chair, to the minister. The minister's on record as saying factors such as the impact of drug injection site on crime rates and expressions of community support or opposition should not be relevant to the federal government's approval process. Do you still feel the same way?
The minister.
Mr. Chair, again to the member opposite, I'm here to talk about the budget estimates for the Ministry for Housing and Infrastructure. So I'd remind the member to keep us focused on the budget estimates.
Member, final
sassy
question.
Again.
Safe injection sites disrupt communities and devalue properties. The minister's radical policies have contributed to Vancouver's housing hell. Is it the minister proud of that?
The honourable minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Again, the member opposite is veering off into misinformation that has been spread by his party relentlessly, twisting around proven science and Supreme Court decisions that defended the actions of the city.
Oh, yeah.
Who's
the
up
honourable
now?
member for Nanaimo Ladysmith.
If the minister is going to keep passing the buck, maybe I should ask the housing
Kronis
minister.
is back.
The minister is a senior minister from British Columbia. He's the former mayor of Vancouver, and it's astonishing that no minister of this government is capable of denouncing this deal.
Honourable Minister.
Thanks, Mr. Speaker. As my colleague here just stated, the BC government is responsible for this decision. It's a Crown agency of the BC government.
That's right.
Honourable Member.
The more these ministers dodge, the clearer it is that this government is soft on Beijing. The minister is a former MLA, and when he was a former MLA, he never claimed that BC Ferries was provincial when he was asking the federal government for money. When will this government stop passing the buck?
Honourable Minister.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. This is an issue of BC jurisdiction, and in Canada we respect jurisdiction between federal, provincial, territorial, and local and Indigenous governments, and we work in partnership, but this is the BC government's jurisdiction.
The Honourable Member.
Will the minister put conditions on the almost $40 million transferred to BC Ferries?
The Honourable Minister.
She's serious.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The member opposite needs to be a little more specific about what transfer she's speaking of.
The Honourable Member.
Tonight, the Prime Minister committed to creating an industrial strategy that makes Canada more competitive. How does handing over Canadian shipbuilding jobs to Beijing make Canada more competitive?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, Canada will be more competitive when we focus on one Canadian economy, all 13 of our provinces and territories with the federal government working in partnership on major projects and building housing across this country.
Honourable Member, final question.
How does this minister not believe that this contract should go to Canadian shipbuilders? There is a Seaspan shipbuilding yard in Vancouver. How can the minister ship the jobs of the people he represents to Beijing?
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, again, the member opposite is talking about a BC government decision, not a federal government decision, and certainly not related to the Ministry of Housing and Infrastructure.
Oh, yeah. All right, gang, we're going to wrap it up right there. Pretty crazy. Now you know our housing minister, Gregor Robertson, and a few more of the MPs from the Conservative Party. They mean business. That Tamara Kronis is a firecracker, man. She's awesome. So many. Todd Doherty, very serious, except when he's bouncing on the weekends. He still looks like a big bouncer. Anyhow, gang, what a time in Canada. Ooh, what are we going to do? There's nowhere for people to go, and they keep bringing people in. It's a mess. Aaron, Canadian Looney, like, share, subscribe. Come and join us for one of our live shows. It's a blast. Man, what are we going to do about this liberal government? What are we going to do? Anyhow, we'll catch you next time. Thank you for watching this video. Have a good one. Catch you later.